As long as pattern and routine dictate your pattern of living, new dimensions of the soul will not emerge. This is a quote by Henry Van Dyke. Good morning. My name is Pia McAdams, and welcome to Transform Your Life in 15 Minutes. I'm an author. I'm also an accounting professor and a certified life coach. I specialize in personal and small business finance. I help people reach their goals. And on Transform Your Life in 15 Minutes, this is where we're doing 5-minute exercises, one each for the mind, the body, and the soul. And today we are reading a book called Who Moved My Cheese? And this book is about change. Okay, so change. So I want you to keep that in mind as we discuss, as we discuss what we're talking about, and then also keep in mind the quote that I just mentioned above. Now, yesterday I asked you 2 questions, and I had you ponder upon those. And the first question is, what do you want in life? And then where do you go to look for it? Well, today your question is going to be, what do you do once you get it? Okay, so what is it that you want to do? What is it that you do when you get it? So now in the story of Who Moved My Cheese, remember we have 2 little mice, and let's see if I can get their names right today. It's Sniff and Scurry, and then you have 2 little people, which are Hem and Haw. So what happens in the story initially is that every morning they get up, they get dressed, they put on their jogging suit, and they put on their shoes, and they hurry out to the maze in excitement as they're looking for cheese. And keep in mind that cheese represents what it is that you want in life, and then the maze is where you go to look for it. So each morning they set upon out of the house to go look for this cheese. And they do this day after day, and they may find something. And keep in mind, Sniff, Sniff and Scurry, these are little mice. These are simple-minded people. So for them, the cheese is just a cheese. And so they develop a routine of trial and error of how they go about looking for what it is they want. All right, and then this goes on day after day, and then eventually they find the cheese because Sniff is the one that sniffs it out, and then Scurry runs around, runs ahead and try to find it. And so that's how they end up finding the cheese, and it was at Station C. So they find their cheese. All right, now Hem and Haw, remember these are the little people, so they have a little bit more complex brains, not a little bit more, a lot more complex brains, and so it's kind of clouded with emotions and belief. And so with their complex brain, they actually do use their past experiences to find, with trial and error to find their cheese as well. It's just that it takes them a little longer just because, again, they have the complex brains. But eventually they also end up at Station C to find the cheese. Now I want you to think about this in life. As you're embarking upon new journeys, thinking about what it is you want, think of the excitement that you have when you first go about, obtaining what it is. So it could be a new job, it can be a new relationship, it could be a new house, it could be anything, right? So whatever it is that you want, think about the excitement that you have when you go about looking for it. You suit up, you put on your best self, you present your best self, and then you go out and you try to get what it is that you want. Well, the same thing happens in the story. And then what happens is, once they found the cheese, let me tell you what Sniff and Scurry did. They actually would take off their running shoes and tie them around their neck because they wanted to make sure that they were ready whenever. And then, throughout the day, every single day, they would be excited as they get out, run from the house, and they would go to the cheese. So even though they knew where the cheese were, they still had that level of excitement when they went to go find it each morning. All right, but on the other hand, Hem and Haw, what happened over time was, because they knew where the cheese was, every single day after they found the cheese and they knew where it was, day by day, they started walking to the cheese because they knew where it was. They knew it was going to be there. And so they kind of took their time. And then once they got there, they would take off their jogging suit, and they would take off their shoes and they put them away. And then they would put on some slippers and they got comfortable. And eventually, Hem and Haw actually moved their homes closer to the cheese. All right, because they didn't know where it came from. They just took it for granted that it was going to be there. All right, so think about that as well as you go out and as you think about what it is that you want and where you look for it, and then what is it that you do when you get it. Do you now become real comfortable where you just kind of, just take it for granted that it's going to be there all the time? And in other words, you start settling into your comfort zone. Now, I'm not saying that the comfort zone is bad, okay? It is what it is. This is not about good, bad, or anything. This is just an observation, if you will. So observe how you act in life. with this comfort zone. Now, we all know what happens with the comfort zone, right? But we like comfort zone because this gives us structure. This gives us a nice calming feeling. This gives us a sense of security, right? But think about the things in your life that you've always wanted. Things are going to change. So when you get into that comfort zone, if you're adverse to change, imagine how hard it's going to be for you to move. So as we start talking about the remainder of the story, keep in mind how it is that you react in life. Okay, so today is about what is it that you do once you get what you want. So let's say that you got the new house, or let's say that you got the new relationship. Then what happens to your behavior once you're in that relationship? Do you still keep that level of excitement about it? Or do you just all of a sudden just like, oh, just kind of take it for granted and assume it's going to always be there? All right, because as you know, change is going to happen. All right, so that's our discussion for today. So remember, the question that I want you to ponder is actually 3, because it's sort of like, I like to use the analogy of building a house, right? So this is like laying the foundation. So the first day we talked about what it is that you want in life, and then where is it that you go to look for it. And then today we're talking about what is it that you do once you get it. All right, so that concludes the mind portion. Now we're going to move on to the body portion and then the soul. And keep in mind with the body, this is we're going to be doing a yoga routine. This is the mind-body connection where we're going to get in. We're going to get some movement going on. And good morning, Paula. Good to see you. And so we're going to get some movement going on, and then we're going to also do the meditation. All right, so how you guys doing this morning? Gosh, I'm tired. You're like, Pia, why are you tired? Very beginning that I'm a professor. Well, my Wednesday night class goes to 10 o'clock at night, and then it's all the way in San Diego, so it kind of takes me a while to get back. So, and then of course I'm excited when I get home, so then I can't go to sleep, and then I end up going to sleep around 12, 1 sometimes, and then I have to do something different, and then I get up and do this broadcast. I'm always excited to do the broadcast. How you doing, Paula? I'm always excited, but this morning I'm like, oh my God, I was like lagging. So I want to thank you guys, because believe it or not, you are my accountability, meaning I know I have to get up and do this broadcast. So even though I didn't feel like it particularly this morning because I was just tired, I was like, I got to get up. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the lights on the Hall of Positivity. I haven't talked about my Hall of Positivity for a while, have I? And if you're new to my broadcast, you don't know what I'm talking about. So let me just kind of explain to you. This is my hallway as I'm making my way from my office to my living room. And what happens is on this wall, I know it's backwards, but as you can see, as I'm walking through, there's all these quotes, these positive things that I have listed on my wall. And just so you can see, like one of them says, what you visualize, you'll materialize. What you resist, you'll persist. And then when you have inspired thought, you have to trust and act upon it. So these are just different quotes. And it's actually on both sides of the wall. And by the way, there's my rule. I'm trying to get with the camera where you can see it. My rule 6. Okay, so my rule 6 in addition to my quotes. So you may be saying, well, Pia, what is rule 6? Well, rule 6 is the rule that I live by, and it's one that you should incorporate in your life as well. And rule 6 states this: don't take yourself so damn seriously, okay? It's not all that serious. All right, so that's your rule 6. All right, so anyway, that's the wall of positivity. And I apologize, it looks like it's kind of dark in here, even though I have lights all around me, but oh well, I'm trying to adjust the camera so that when I actually do the yoga, I'm actually on camera. I think that'll work. Okay, so this next series our next section is going to be the 5-minute of the yoga, and then we're going to immediately go into the meditation. So both of these are both practices, so I invite you to join me. Now, let's go ahead and start off in tabletop. I like tabletop. I might just do tabletop all the time. No, I won't. I promise I'll change it up. But let's do tabletop today. So you're going to be on your hands and knees. Now, when you get on your hands and knees, before you do that, I want you to take 3 deep breaths, and I want you to ground yourself. And then go ahead and get on your hands and knees. And then once you're on your hands and knees, make sure that you set your intention of what it is that you want to accomplish in this next 5 minutes. Keep in mind, yoga is a practice as well as meditation, so I invite you to join me and not to just watch me. All right, so let's go ahead and assume the position and tabletop. Oh gosh, I had my music and now it's gone. Let me find it again. Give me a second here. I tell you, it's Wednesday. No, it's Thursday. See, I told you. All right, oh, I had a good one. Give me a second. If I can't find another one, I'll just choose one. There's always a first time for everything. I tell you. All right, so I'm getting the music together. You guys get yourself grounded, and we will get started now. your palms are directly underneath your shoulders. You're going to make sure that your knees are directly underneath your hips. Again, 3 deep breaths to get yourself grounded. And then you're going to set your intention of what it is that you want to accomplish for this next 5 minutes. And then go ahead and just start moving. Just kind of take the hips side to side. This is first thing in the morning for me, so I just kind of like to do what feels comfortable. Just kind of ease into the movement. And while you're breathing and just kind of just pondering where you are in this present moment, I want you to go internally and see what's going on inside of your body right now. Like, are there any strains, any stress, any tensions, any tight areas that you notice in your body? And I want you to address those by using your breath to clear those places out. All right, let's return back to neutral spine. And I want you to draw your breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to drop your chin down to your chest and round through the spine. This is the cat. And as you inhale, we're going to go to the cow. So your head and chest is going to come forward. Belly drops down to the mat. If you're on the mat, tailbone sticks out to the back of the room. You're pressing your armpits down toward the mat. Then as you exhale, round through the spine. Drop your chin down to your chest. Tailbone is tucked under. Let's do that a couple more times. Again, on the exhale is where you're directing your breath inside, going to those tight areas, any tension, strain, stress, negativity going on in your body. This is also one of my favorite ones because it kind of limbers up the spine, moves, and warms up the body. Now this time as you exhale, I want you to curl your toes under, and let's take it to downward facing dog, also known as Adho Mukha Savasana. And start to pedal your legs. Now, downward facing dog is a resting pose. Again, I'd like to remind you that you can always modify this by taking your legs in a wider stance, and you can do a wide-legged downward facing dog. You're pressing your chest toward your thighs and your knees. Your fingers and toes again spread out nice and wide. Middle fingers are facing forward, thumbs are facing in. And relax your shoulders. Press them down and away from your ears. Let's go ahead and bring both feet together. And then I want you to walk your feet in toward your hands, keeping your palms on the mat. So as you're walking, you may need to bend your knees, which is fine, okay? So just make sure you try to keep your palms on the mat as you walk your feet in toward the palms. And then I want you to slowly round it up, taking it one vertebrae at a time. Just making sure that your head is the last to rise. And we're going to come to Tadasana, which is mountain pose. All right, so your feet again are together, slightly apart. We're pretending like there's some roots going down from the bottom of your feet all the way through the floor, all the way down to Middle Earth. Your chest is lifted, your shoulders drawn back, your head is a nice extension of the spine. Pretend like there's a string from the crown of your head all the way up to the ceiling attached to it, and your fingertips are facing downward. You're nice, strong, sturdy, just like a mountain. This is Tadasana. Now as we inhale, we're going to take the arms overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to dive the body forward. Remember, take your time and use your whole full breath. As we inhale, we're going to look up halfway, flatten out your back. Tailbone sticks out to the back of the room. As you exhale, you're going to flatten out your palms and you're going to step back right, left into the plank. As you continue exhale, you're going to release your knees, your chest, and your chin to the mat. Now as you inhale, we're going to bring the body forward to upward facing dog. Relax your shoulder, press them down and away from your your ears. Curl those toes under, and as you exhale, take it to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Savasana. And begin to pedal. Now as we inhale, come up on the top of your toes. And as you exhale, go down to the balls of your feet, all the way down toward your heels. Let's do that again. As you inhale, come up on the top of your toes. And as you exhale, roll all the way down to the balls of your feet, all the way down towards the heels as you try to get them down to the mat. Go ahead and inhale one more time. This time as you exhale, you're going to take your hips over toward the right. You're going to bend the right knee over toward the left. And give a nice deep stretch on that side. Again, if there's any tension or stress, I want you to direct your breath toward that tight area. And then return back to the center and then roll all the way down to the balls of your feet, all the way to the heels. Go ahead and press your chest toward your thighs and your knees for me. Lift those kneecaps and engage the quadricep and give it a deep little stretch on those hamstrings. All right, one more time. Let's come up on the top of our toes. This time we're going to lean toward the opposite direction. So I'm leaning over toward the left, bending the left knee toward the right. You're still pressing your chest toward that right thigh and knee. All right, go ahead and return back to the center and roll all the way down through the balls of your feet, down toward the heels. Now I want you to step forward toward your fingertips, right, left. Inhale, take it all the way up. And exhale, dive the body forward. As you inhale, look up halfway. Flatten out the palms. This time, step back left, right into the plank. Release your knee, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. As we inhale, we're going to go to upward facing dog. Again, relax those shoulders away from the ears. And as you exhale, curl the toes under and take the downward facing dog. Now as you inhale, we're going to bring that right knee into your chest, and as you exhale, you're going to extend that right leg all the way back. And then you're going to bring that right foot forward toward the fingertips. Take that left foot, turn it in perpendicular so that the heel is dissecting the arch of that right foot, of that left foot. And then we're going to take it up to Warrior One, Virabhadrasana A. Now, the tendency here is to open up your hips wide facing me. And I want you to turn those hips and face them forward, okay? Press down so you're bending your knee. Matter of fact, make sure that your knee is directly underneath your ankle. Now let's do some movement with this because it's first thing in the morning, plus I like movement. So as you inhale, just kind of straighten up the leg. And as you exhale, bend the knee, draw the hips down toward the mat. My hands are extended over my head, but if this is too much strain and stress on your neck, feel free to bring your hands at the heart center. And I'm still breathing and I'm still using movement. One more time. Inhale. And then this time as you exhale, as you bend the knee, you're going to extend the arms out to the side. And we're going to take it to Warrior Two. Now this time your hips are opened up facing me. Nice long extension from fingertips to fingertips. Draw the shoulders, bring them down and away from your ears. And bring the shoulder blades in toward the spine. Again, inhale, straighten out the leg. And as you exhale, bend the knee. Continue using your breath. And one more time, nice deep breath, inhale. Now this time as you exhale, I want you to lean your body all the way forward. I want you to take this right hand down toward the right shin as the left hand goes up. Your gaze follows your thumb. Unless there's too much strain and stress on your neck, then you can feel free to look forward or look down. Do not rest your hand on the shin and don't collapse your torso. Okay, lift up your torso. So if you're only here, then this is fine. Now go ahead and bring that left hand down toward the mat. Bend the knees. Take the leg back from the plank. Knee, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. Inhale to upward facing dog. Relax the shoulders. Curl the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now remember, downward facing dog is the resting pose. So we stay here for a couple breaths. If you need to modify this, you can take it to tabletop or even child's pose. Now, as you inhale, bring that left knee into your chest. And as you exhale, extend that left leg all the way back. Now, in one swoop, we're going to bring that left foot toward the fingertips. Turn that right foot in perpendicular. And again, take it up. Virabhadrasana 1. Inhale, straighten out the leg. Remember, rotate the hips to the center so that they're squared. And exhale. Try to keep your head in alignment with your bicep, guys. And please, remember to breathe. Nice, deep Ujjayi breath. And you're directing on the exhale, you're directing the breath toward the tight areas or tension that may be located in your body. On the third time, we exhale. Relax the shoulders. You're looking forward. Open that left finger on the left fingers. And remember, squeeze those shoulder blades together. And one more time. This time as we exhale, we're going to lean all the way forward. Drop the hand down toward the shin. Opposite arm goes straight up. Remember, blades goes forward, goes up, forward, or down, depending on the strain or stress you may have in your neck. Now, lift the kneecap on this left leg to engage the quadricep. Again, to give a deeper stretch on that hamstring. And take your time and be patient. Now go ahead and draw the right knee down, right hand down, palm toward the mat. Bend the leg and take it back. Knee, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale. Curl those toes under and exhale. Now keep your palms flat. We're going to walk our feet in again toward the palms. And let's just forward fold in Uttanasana right here. Just kind of relax your shoulders. Let the crown of your head bring your body weight naturally forward. Take your hands and clasp your elbows. Just kind of swing side to side. Again, you should feel a gentle stretch on those hamstrings. Micro knees if you need to. Now as you're inhaling, you're just kind of holding your position. And as you exhale, you kind of release and relax and surrender into the pose. Okay, so just feel yourself relaxing and releasing all the tension and stress as you exhale. Now go ahead and release your fingertips down and then slowly round it up. Again, taking it one vertebrae at a time. Just kind of take your time. Draw your shoulders down and back. Come up to Tadasana. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to dive the body forward. Place your palms down flat. Step out to the wide area of the mat. Right, left. And as you exhale, release your tailbone down toward the mat. Now use your elbows to push out on your inner thighs. Clasp your hands together and bring them at heart center. Bow your head down. We're in Malasana and we're going to give some gratitude. I like to end the last pose in Malasana because this is a hip opener. And we spend a lot of our time seated. And so our flexibility in our hip flexor is like 0 to none. 0 to none sometimes. And so this is a great pose to end because it opens up your hip flexor. Again, draw the breath down. For some of you, you may be up. That's okay. Over time, eventually, you'll release and relax the tension and stress. All right, go ahead and place your palms down. And then take them behind you and bring yourself to a nice, comfortable seated position. Facing forward, making sure that you're on your sits bones and not the fleshy part of your bottom. You're sitting up nice and tall. Now as we inhale, we're going to take the arms up overhead. And as we exhale, release the fingertips down toward the mat. Let's do that again. Nice deep breath. Inhaling. And exhale. Final time. Inhale, bring in all the positive energy. I want you to collapse and bring your hands together at the very top. We're going to exhale down through the center as we bring our palms at heart center. And namaste. All right, thank you for practicing yoga with me. We're now going to go on to the meditation portion. Now on this meditation, what we're going to do is a 2-minute exercise. Okay, so a 2-minute breathing exercise. And all you're going to do is we're going to take 3 deep breaths. We're going to get ourselves grounded, centered, and again, setting another tension for this next few minutes. And then all you're going to do is you're just going to breathe on a regular like you normally would. You're not going to manipulate your breath in any way. You're just going to do your regular breaths. And as you exhale, you're going to start counting your breaths, starting with the number 1, and you're going to count up. Now, while you're counting, and as you continue breathing, if there's any distractions, whether it's external or internal within your mind with your thoughts, you're going to first acknowledge the distraction. And then you're going to go back to your count, but you're going to start off over again with count number 1. So for example, let's say I'm breathing, and on this exhale, I get to number 3, then I remember, oh, I got to do something. I'm going to acknowledge what I got to do, and then I'm going to bring my focus back to my breath. And this next exhale, I'm going to start all over at 1. All right? So we're going to do this just for 2 minutes. All right, so let's go ahead and get ourselves grounded. So again, make sure you're in a nice, comfortable seated position. And I want you to take a nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Again, inhaling and exhale. One more time, inhaling. This time as you exhale, go ahead and close your eyes. And begin counting. Remember, regular breaths. Go ahead and release, relax, return, refreshed, and calm. You've done something good for yourself today. I want to thank you for taking the time to meditate with me. And by the way, this is a great 2-minute exercise that you can do several times throughout the day. So for those of you that are wondering, having trouble meditating, this is a perfect introduction to meditation where you're just focusing on your breath for just 2 minutes and you're counting. All right. Now, as you're counting, you don't want to go past 10. But continue to count, and again, be patient with yourself, because remember, meditation is a practice, and the more you practice, then you'll have perfect practice. And I want you to understand that your goal is to not clear your mind. There's never a time that you're going to clear your mind unless you're dead. Okay, so having those 70,000 thoughts that we have throughout the day, that's a sign of a normal, healthy brain. But what you can do is you can actually quiet your mind so that it's not so busy, and that's one of the purposes of meditation. And by doing this 2-minute exercise, just try it twice a day. You just did it once with me now, so do it one other time today, and over time, I promise you, you're going to see tremendous changes in your life. All right, well, that is it for today. Your word for today is miraculous. So I want you to make miracles happen today, and I will see you the same time tomorrow. Bye.